So let's see what is coming in for the collective today in terms of the energy. Hello, everyone. I'm the Grace Strega. Let's do the collective reading for today, Thursday, November 17th. What do we have coming in? Can I please get 5 cards? We're starting out. We've got 2 here. I like this. I like this. Okay, this is good. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is good, but like curious. Something's going on. All right, what do we have here? We've got a 5-card spread here. The first thing you should know about today is a communication is a coming through. So be on the lookout for communication. This could be new energy. This could also be old energy, and it's going to be small communication. I need to point out, this isn't going to be like a novella dropped on your lap. This is going to be something that's like, hey, how you doing? It's going to be one of those like little bitty ones, but it's also going to be very intriguing. So definitely keep your feelers out, because if you're waiting for some communication, today is probably going to be the day that you're going to receive it. And I like this too, because I need to point out that one of the reasons that this is happening is because you're becoming clearer, babes, on what it is you want and what it is you're looking for. And we're seeing that here. And this is also probably with the communication that's coming towards you with, and I love to see this card in its reversal, the 7 of Cups in its reversal. And what this really indicates is when the 7 of Cups is in its reversal, it really talks about the idea that we're moving out of illusion. That someone may have felt a little uncertain or confused with all of the options that were before them, all of the possibilities. And we see now that today is a beautiful day for that narrowing down, that focusing, that understanding, that clarity of what you want and what you're going after. And I think that this is really what's at play right now, that is not only allowing this communication to come towards you, but it's also allowing you to direct the communication that you want to as well. So there is a lot of communication going back and forth in this way. But again, I like it because it is very actionable communication. This is the kind of communication, it's not someone just like, being flimsy. This is individuals, yourself and others, making very direct choices after looking inward, after that moment of internal consideration. We love that. But it also begs a question, doesn't it? It definitely begs a question. Tap that screen if you want to know what the question it begs is. The question it begs is, why now? What's going on here, right? You've got this communication. You've got someone doing some internal investigation, both internally on yourself and with others. But why? That brings us to the very interesting part of this reading. The very interesting part of this reading. That is the Moon card. So I need you to keep this in mind in terms of any of the communication coming forward to you today, this is tip of the iceberg communication. This is going to be some kind of communication that's going back and forth, that there's something else happening. There's something bigger happening. And I don't think that this communication is going to be completely forthright yet as to what is necessarily going on at the moment. But there's definitely some things going on under the surface that I feel that this communication is hoping to reveal, right? I do feel that there is a need here or a desire for transparency, but you're not going to get that clarity today. You're just going to sense it. You're going to start wondering, again, it's because of this, it's really going to come out of the blue. And I feel like a lot of you are kind of start to probe as to what's inspiring these things, what's going on under the surface. And let this be confirmation to you, if you receive this, that is because there's something going on under the surface, and your intuition is right there. You might not get to the bottom of it yet, but this does indicate that there is some kind of clarity that can be achieved, so long as someone wants to share it. I'm also seeing here, today is really the day, the day that is really the question as to how you are going to respond to these things. How you're going to respond, how others are going to respond, but mostly how you're going to respond. Because we're also seeing here the 6 of Pentacles. This is going to take a little bit of generosity on your part. Something about this situation or circumstance that's coming into your life is the fact that, I feel like that this is really indicating an energy of somebody having explaining to do to a certain extent. And whether you want to be generous about accepting or receiving this information or not, that's really going to be a big question for you today. A lot of decisions. There is one card that came out under this collective reading right now in the first 5 card spread that is hidden, which makes a lot of sense given the fact that the central card is the Moon card. What is hidden right now? Someone is choosing a new direction. Someone is looking at the options before them, and they have decided that they're not necessarily that eager for any of those options. And they're now kind of allowing that intuitive insight to guide them into the places that they want to go to. This might be a lot of the clarification we're seeing with this Moon energy. But I will also point out, this also gives the idea that, you know, there is some enlightenment that is required around what this situation or circumstance is that the individuals in question may potentially find themselves in at this point that would inspire this intuitive guidance that they're moving into. I'm totally here for this. I don't hate this at all. You know, it's mysterious. It's definitely mysterious. But it's very interesting. Whoop! Oh, the first card already topped off. So we're going to keep going, guys. If you are resonating with this, please tap that screen. Make sure to share this reading. If you think there's someone who needs their collective, we're getting clarity on all of this stuff very quickly. You want to make sure to tap that screen because we are definitely getting the clarity here as to what's going on. All right, we've got the 4 card spread clarifying the cards that we've drawn so far. Clarifying between this new energy, the new communication coming forward, and feeling like you yourself know more what you want right now, and you're able to go after it, and so is this one energy. What's happening right now? Why is that happening? Someone's trying to heal from a heartbreak. Someone is trying to heal from a heartbreak. You're trying to heal from a heartbreak potentially by allowing this new energy in and kind of being more directional as to what you want. And this energy that's coming towards you is reaching out because they are healing from something as well. So this is some of the stuff that's happening right now. Someone there, to me, what this really indicates is someone is moving with a lot more authenticity right now because their heart is healing and they're not necessarily being led astray as they may have in the past. There's a lot of directionality coming forward in this. I do not hate this at all. Clarifying between the 7 of Cups and the Moon card, moving out of disillusionment, not being swayed by illusions or false promises, having a really deeper sense of what you want in the midst of an area or situation that may have had a lot of things obfuscated around it, is Queen of Pentacles energy. And this is going to hit a little different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy. If you are a feminine right now, there's an aspect of this that I really like, which is the fact that there's a feminine that's sitting in their power right now with the understanding that they feel that there are things that they're not aware of in the world. There are some secrets, but they don't really care. This is a feminine that really feels like, let people have their mysteries if they want to have their mysteries, because this is the feminine energy that's just sitting in their own power. They're feeling themselves. They're feeling the security and comfort of their own life. They know what they want. And so I like this energy because this is a feminine that does not feel that they need to dig that much, because they're just, it's that empowerment of saying, like, people are either going to be honest with you or they're not. And there's no point. It doesn't really matter either way. So you're just in your power. Masculine energy, though, is a different thing. Because here's feminine, minding her business, sitting all easy peasy. And masculine's coming out of this thing where their head's a little bit like, whew, they're finally making choices for themselves. And I feel like this masculine is also coming out of a place where they are exhausted and tired of hiding. They're tired of the games. They're tired of the lies. And then they see a representation of feminine, bearing in mind that this is not based on masculine or feminine, but what you feel, on gender, but what you feel aligned to. This is a masculine seeing a feminine grounded in her power, confident, and they're moving towards this because they realize that there's a simplicity here. There is a what you see is what you get aspect. And they're longing for that comfort right now in the middle of this place they find themselves, coming out of disillusionment, feeling like there might be a lot of uncertainties or lies around them, moving towards a feminine that is more grounded, that is more comfortable in their space. That's what we see here. Okay, giving us clarity. We now have 2 hidden cards coming up. So clarifying right now between the moon. So again, things that are unknown, having to have the generosity to decide whether to deal with this, kind of this mysterious circumstance that may pop up today, kind of a surprise, kind of like might throw you back a little. Not something you were expecting necessarily. Hidden card is, it's a feeling of, I feel like a lot of you are going to move forward into this. You're going to move in, you're going to proceed to kind of give this what it needs because you're feeling very generous. You're feeling very generous. And again, if you're feminine, it's because you're feeling very grounded and confident right now. If you're masculine, it's because, again, you're in a place right now where you want to give because you want to move away from these circumstances and situations that may have wounded you in the past because they weren't necessarily like, this is giving the energy of a masculine that may have potentially been deceived in some fashion. So we like this. I'm okay with all of this right now. Okay. We're going to keep going. The other hidden card, clarifying between this like act of generosity required on your part, but also like this idea of looking at the options and almost like manifesting the thing you want because you have so many at this point. But like, there's this surprise out of the blue. That's really the energy you have right here. Like this bing, like just like, where did this come from energy is, so here's the thing. This is the card that, this is a card we've been seeing popping up a lot as well, which is the generosity and the surprise is this is some kind of energy here that potentially has not ever really opened up to you before. This is an energy that has had a difficulty opening up. And so that is why I feel that you are being so generous right now to this. Because in the past, this is not, whatever's happening right now is very uncharacteristic of this energy. You kind of want to find out, you want to give it what you need to give it to get it to kind of share more as to what's going on. I don't hate this. And this is going to be hit a little different depending on feminine or masculine energy. For feminine, this is going to be an energy that feels like this is someone who is very withholding, that has a hard time communicating, and here they are. They popped up, and you're like, what are you doing here? And you're giving them what they need because you're just really interested in understanding what has happened that's so uncharacteristic of this person doing this. And for masculine, it's going to be there. You're reaching. This is really like the potential of you, like potentially giving something, but trying to be discreet about what you give because you're worried about giving too much, right? Because there is something here that's very interesting with the masculine energy. They want to give, but they don't want to give too much. They're trying to find a place where they don't need to, like, it's almost like they're worried that like they might overshare their hand, right? So they're being very scrupulous on what they are sharing in this situation because they want to put something forward, but there's also that anxiety of doing so. Very interesting energy. Very interesting energy. We're going to keep going, guys. If this is resonating, please tap that screen. Please let me know. Let's do some sharing. Make sure everybody gets this reading. All right. We're going to clarify between this healing journey we're seeing right now with the 3 of Swords and its reversal around this beautiful Queen of Pentacles energy. Feminine is in a place right now where they are sitting pretty and they are healing. Masculine is healing and they're moving towards a feminine, or their thoughts are on a feminine right now that's very grounded, that they're seeing as someone who like is kind of steadfast to a certain extent. As they move into this healing journey, can I get some clarity, please? 1 card. Oh, I love this. Especially for feminine, we've got High Priestess energy. So feminine right now, again, there's some moments happening right now with the feminine energy where there's just such a beautiful healing today occurring and a recentering. There's something about this healing has a lot to do with refocusing on your own life and your own home and your own projects. And what's happening here is as you do that, you're finding that Physical connection is bringing you into higher spiritual connection. It's that connectivity point between like the outside and the inside that's coming together right now, that's allowing you to have like this full healing experience. For masculine, there is a healing journey happening right now. Might hit a little different, because to me, this could potentially be two different energies in the masculine space, two feminine energies, which is one that is very grounded, that has a very tangible offer, and one that is very spiritual, that has a more of a spiritual offer. And there's something about the masculine occupying the space between these two that they're trying to heal through. They're trying to heal in this space between these two. And that's a very intriguing journey here, right? But it's really about this can also be the idea of trying to fix things between two energies. The masculine energy right now has two particularly feminine energies that they're trying to repair things with. And that's where this is coming from. Yes. So that explains where the masculine journey potentially is going right now with this. Makes sense. Makes sense. Clarifying right now between this Queen of Pentacles energy and this Nine of Cups reversed energy. So, a grounded feminine energy and an energy of feeling like someone really wants to kind of divest themselves, like share something at this point with this energy that they feel connected to. What is this? And this is like, and what's really interesting is like, this is very restricted here. Like that it's a desire to, but almost the anxiety of at the same time. Can I get one card to clarify? Wow. This is firm establishments. This is creating something this is creating something new. This is creating something stable. There is a desire here. For feminine, it's going to be the idea of being able to find the things in their life that they can truly pour themselves into and share with the world. And it's almost taking that internal plan and making it larger, making it something bigger than just the feminine. For masculine, this is going to feel a little bit like masculine is kind of in a place right now where they're feeling a little drained. They're feeling a bit exhausted. They're looking to the feminine to help restore them because there is some solidity and structure that has been taken from the masculine. There's some kind of a potential hit, like some kind of emotional, spiritual hit that this masculine energy has experienced. And they're now looking for like that fortifying moment to try to like build themselves back up around a feminine that they feel is more stable and strong. I like this. I'm not against this at all. This is beautiful energy. Clarifying right now between the Nine of Cups reversed and the Knight of Cups. So, having some areas of feeling like there is a lack that's being repaired. So for some of the feminines, it's really feeling like wanting to create this, wanting to take back a lot of the emotionality, the emotional materials that they've given to other people. There's like a lot of recalling of the energy back right now for the feminine. Whereas the masculine is now, I'm seeing this situation now where masculine's pulling offers in some areas, but also like wants to come forward with an offer, but doesn't know how. There's a restriction point. Clarifying between these two is, I gotta drop the card. There it is. This is about self-care. This is about someone making the choice to take care of themselves. This is beautiful energy, because even for feminine or masculine, this is a renewed investment in themselves, filling their cup and doing the things that they need to fill their cup. So for feminine right now, like I said, some feminines are moving into a place where like they're okay with the fact that there might be a masculine energy right now that they haven't heard from or that they're not in communication with, because they realize that they are feeling better. They're feeling better as a result of not having that energy there. For masculine energy, and so that's where this feminine is kind of getting her energy back, right? She's kind of like, this feminine is like feeling like herself being refilled, because she realizes now that she was exhausting herself Feminine was exhausting herself, pouring all of her cups into someone who never offered her anything. Whereas masculine now is in a void. They are in a lack. They feel like they have had experienced this hit, and there is a lot of spiritual exhaustion that the masculine is facing right now. And they're unsure of how to come forward with an offer. But they want to do so. There is this desire because they realize that something about their ability to come forward in this way is going to be a restoring moment for them. So I love the fact that everyone is very focused on what is best for their own self-care, but also involving each other, which is really beautiful. We're going to keep going here because I love this. We're now getting down to the 2 card to clarify the 3. Thank you guys so much for the likes and the shares and the follows. If this is resonating, please tap that screen. We are now going to get clarity between this beautiful High Priestess energy, one of my favorite cards, and the 3 of Pentacles. So this desire, this first, again, for feminine energy, this is going to be this High Priestess energy. So feminine is in this place right now of spiritual connectivity, where they're really focusing on the bigger picture. They're really focusing on what they want to create, what they want to build, and who they want to build it with. So it's beautiful because it is a very practical direction, spiritually motivated, right? Really kind of grounding that spiritual energy that's coming back into the feminine at this point. Clarifying between these two is, and for masculine, this is potentially wanting to create something lasting, sturdy, stable with the feminine that they feel is in their power, is in their spiritual power. So clarifying between these 2 points is, we got 2 cards coming through. That's it. Balance and communication. Balance and communication. That there's something here that feels like there's something about creating fairness, something about creating a sense of balance via the communication. Like I said, huge day for communication, and a lot of communication coming in, potentially from a lot of different places, because I think that for a lot of people, there is an equilibrium that's now happening, that there is something that is becoming clearer, and there is something that needs to be corrected. And today is the work to try to correct something via that communication, to create that sense of balance that may have been missing from a circumstance or situation. So a lot of whatever this whatever this communication is that's coming in, it's going to feel much more fair or balanced than it has in the past. It's almost like the scales are getting balanced in a way, from what was given and what has been received. Clarifying between this beautiful 3 of Pentacles energy and the Ace of Cups. So again, a concentration on what can be created that's going to create lasting joy, lasting harmony, something that this is not momentary pleasure. This is something that's going to be robust, that's going to build into something solid and secure, because it's starting from the beginning of taking care of yourself, of that self-care. It's an act of self-care to create this to a certain extent. Clarifying between these 2 cards right now is, there it is. For many of you, this is a return. This is a return to something from the past. But again, like I said, it's going to be a return to something, but in a peaceful way, in a different way. And for a lot of you, this is also going to be the moment that you realize that you don't necessarily want to move away from something that you are currently moving away from. That in fact, this is almost a return back to something that you may have left in the past in order to build it back stronger and better. It's almost like you found a way to remove these swords, to remove all this pain that you were carrying around it. And you can kind of now see the ability to create something strong in its wake. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. All right. We are now going to continue clarifying, and this is the final card for the spread, so make sure to be tapping that screen. For anyone asking, yes, this will be available. I will be posting this to YouTube once we have completed it here, so make sure to be following me on my YouTube channel. So clarifying the final card right now between this communication, this fair and balanced communication that's coming in, and a lot of it that is kind of trying to create some equality, and this replenishing of the cup is something about being restored today, having that restorational moment. The clarifying card for this is the final card of this stuff today, our conclusion card. Where are we concluding today? There it is. This is moving away from grief and focusing on positivity. I love this. This is acknowledging the fact that there have been things that are lost. You may have been in a place right now where you've spent a good portion of the time recently grieving over the things that are lost. Today is the day that many people are going to be able to turn their attention away from being in that lack mentality and instead see what remains, and having a deep level of gratitude and appreciation for what is persisting. And realizing too that the things that were lost were meant to be lost because they were never meant to be yours in the first place. You know, I always like to point out with the Five of Cups that this person would not be able to move were it not for the fact that they lost these cups, that loss is actually the thing that is now going to move them on their journey. And for many of you today, I think a lot of things are going to become clear about why things had to be the way they were, or why things happened the way they did, and having a new appreciation for what you now find yourself with in the wake of it. That is our reading for today. Bottom of the deck. I'm totally here for it. Tap to claim if you also agree. Yes, exactly. What's meant for you will not miss you. What is bottom of the deck? You know, here's the thing. I think that what's really interesting about this is, and I see it here in the cards. This is a small step in communication in the right direction, because there is some timidness right now. There still is a lot of timidness to go forward into something. I'm seeing a lot of healing in this spread. And so there can be some anxiety right now around how, it's like really just like how to start is what I'm seeing. That anxiety on how to start, and a little bit of lack of confidence of being unsure of what you're doing. But here's the thing I always love. The Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, is an individual who may not have all of the experience, but they don't need the experience because they have their own spirit to guide them forward in the places that their experience is lacking. It's that sometimes all you really need is the desire, and to voice the fact that you have that desire, and not to be too worried about the rest, because you can learn the rest as you go along. So for many today, it's really going to be kind of about struggling with your own courage in the face of what you are faced with today, either in what you share, what you send out, or what you receive. Just remember, it's a process. And again, you don't have to feel like, there's always going to be a bit of risk, but no risk, no reward. That's it for me today. Guys, thank you so much. That was our reading. I'm okay with it. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I'm totally good with this. This is a beautiful reading for today. Thank you. And thank you to everybody for joining us here to have the collective reading. Just a reminder, because unfortunately, I can't stay on too long today, as I love to stay on, but I cannot stay on too long today because I've got a lot to do today. But just a reminder to all of you that this, if you missed the collective reading, never fear, it will be up on my YouTube channel. And also, if you'd like to book a private reading, you can book one on my site, gracedraga.com. You can find the link in my bio. Please remember, my private readings are done over Zoom with the option to have them recorded. Also, if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off when you pay for that reading. Please remember, when you book a private reading, it's a 2-step process. You have to book and you have to pay. Please do both. But if you're a subscriber